there. This is Jen with Jonnie. I'm Jonnie Maze. I have the talented, the beautiful, the amazing Luna Asé here today, you guys. Hey. Yay! I know. Round of applause. I love it. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you for having me.
Yes. So first of all, I'm just like in love with you, okay? Because you got the vibes, you got everything popping off. So I have so much to dig into. So honestly, I was listening to Unity, okay, which is your single that's out.
Yeah.
And girl, tell me what I was this morning. Unity, Unity. I was in the shower, girl. I was singing it. And then I was listening to the words, and it was so beautiful. And it was like, it gave me this whole like dimensional universe. We're connecting. So tell me about that. Is that like your spiritual healing, Reiki master stuff colliding with your music, or how did that come about, that song?
Thank you. I really appreciate you saying that.
I love it, girl.
Thank you. I'm cool, and I love that it's catchy that you were saying it, that's the goal. Mm-hmm. No, well, that song, it definitely does embody my spiritual self, because my previous EP is not so spiritual vibes. It's R&B.
Okay.
There's a Spanish song on there as well, and then like a kind of alternative vibe song as well. But it's mostly love R&B, breakup stuff, breakup shit.
Yeah.
Can I cuss?
You can cuss.
Okay. Okay.
We'll bleep it out, you two. We have to. No.
It's not for kids. Okay?
It's not for kids. I'm gonna check that one.
Make sure you check.
I'm gonna check.
So I wrote the song before that album was out. So it was originally a love song.
Okay.
And then after I released that EP, and I had another Dark Night of the Soul, because there's several in this life. We learn lessons all the time.
Yes.
And so through that darkness, I was able to shift things within me and just elevate my whole existence through my consciousness.
Yes.
And my dream was always, when I was a child, I was awakening the inner child within me, right?
Mm-hmm.
During that whole process. And I was remembering that when I was a kid, my whole thing was like, I just want peace on earth. Like, that's my whole thing. I want us all to be united.
Yes.
And so I was like, I'm going to change the lyrics of this song because it wasn't finished. And I had to change producers and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, I'm going to change the lyrics real quick. Just let me record it. I'm going to send it back. He's like, okay, that's right. So it took a little while longer to release the song, but I'm glad that it did. It's always divine timing.
Yes.
Because now it means so much more. And I don't want to get emotional, but I had a friend who, trigger warning, you guys, but I had a friend who passed away, and she unfortunately took her own life. So if you know anybody who struggles with depression or anything like that, make sure that you're checking in on them.
Yes.
Always.
Yes.
Mental health is so important.
It is.
And so after that song was already released and that had happened, when I would listen to the song, I would just get so emotional. And so the song has so many different meanings for me because it went through an evolution itself. The song went through an evolution, and so did I. Yes. So my music is a reflection of who I am.
Yes.
And so from now on, my intention is to create music that is spiritual, in a sense, that is going to elevate your soul. Whoever is listening to it can walk away feeling inspired, loved, empowered, empowered of their own essence that also runs within me. The things that you love within me, they're things that you have within you. Yes. And that's what I want people to walk away with, and I want peace on earth.
Well, I think Prince said that. He said that you're either here to empower or discourage. That's it.
I love Prince.
So, you know what I mean? And I always think about that. And, that brings up a lot. When I was beginning my musical journey, it was really into 2020. I mean, it took me a long time to kind of figure stuff out. So when I started writing songs, I was dealing with some back past emotions. So a lot of my songs came out kind of dark. You know what I mean? Yeah. My song's called Fuck This Pain. My other song's Endorphins. It was a lot about acknowledging the pain, understanding how it became painful, right? Because sometimes that's the hardest part. I'm like, I feel it, but why? What's going on? And so I think that through that process, it liberated me too. So I know what you mean about it kind of like evolving as you evolve. And now looking back at it, I'm like, oh, it's kind of hard to listen to sometimes because I'm like, I'm not there anymore.
Yeah.
You know, I'm where you're at. I want to empower. I want to like bring it up. You know, I want to lift and kind of inspire. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I totally feel you on that. But you said Spanish song. So are you Mexican?
Yes.
You are.
Mexicana.
I love it. So how does your background, do you feel like kind of influence your sound?
Oh man. Well, I wanted to influence it more.
Okay.
It influences it just because of my own presence. You know, I am a Mexicana, so it's going to be reflected in my speech, you know what I mean? In certain ways that I pronounce things. I'm from the Valley, so Valley girl talks like that kind of shit, you know? And so I think that that's how it's reflected. And I also, in my content that I create, I do frequently. I do like Spanish ones, and they kind of, people like it, so I think I'm gonna start doing more of it.
Yes.
So that's a good point. Thank you for bringing that up. I'm definitely gonna do more of it.
No, I love that. You know, I think, you know, I kind of grew up singing in the church. My mom was a preacher growing up, so I have a lot of like gospel-y undertones. You know, that kind of come out, soul that kind of comes out, just because that's my background. I mean, girl, I'll be singing a sad song, but it got soul. You know what I mean? It's got heart. But yeah, so I feel like the background and family upbringing and just kind of creative, like, did you kind of grow up in a creative environment? Because you are creativity manifested. I really do believe that. I feel like you kind of, you have your hand in everything like me, girl. They're like, pick a lane. I'm like, which one?
Why?
I got 5, I got 6, I got...
First of all, don't tell me what to do.
Exactly.
That's a Scorpio in me.
Exactly.
No, you know, I've always been very, very creative. Okay. My mom used to sing to me when I was a child, a little baby. She sings very well as well. In Spanish. So Spanish was my first language.
It was?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So, and I think I do have some melodies in some of my songs, like little riffs, you know, runs that are a Spanish vibe, you know?
Yes.
So I think there's that influence, but I've been singing since I could talk, you know? Like, my mom and my aunts, they always have this memory that I was like in my car seat, like I could barely say words, right? Yeah. But my uncle, he had a farm. He had like all these animals. Stop! I want animals.
Me too.
I want land, animals.
We gotta get the ranch, girl. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, if you guys are interested, we're starting a community.
We're about to get there in the community. Y'all ready for this?
Yeah.
Unity, you and I and every soul intertwined. I see the universe in you.
So I say affirmations to myself like, I'm not for everybody. You know, and I'm okay with that.
I'm okay with that. See, I like that.
Like that kind of stuff, because that way you make it okay to just be yourself. And the people that are meant for you are gonna find you, and the people that are not meant for you, oh wow, they can go to find somebody else, and there will be somebody for them. You know what I mean? You are not meant for everybody, and we all are different for a reason. You know what I mean? Because it all works in unison together. So it's okay to be different. So that, I get that, because I've felt that before too. And I think that TikTok, what it does is that it brings out people's insecurities and shadows a lot. So TikTok has been a fucking blessing for me. I think it's a lot of people talk shit about it, like they don't like it, but it's transformed my life in many, many ways, because I've had to face those things. Like myself, I was always self-conscious. I never was very confident. You know, I had to build it over my time here on earth.
Yes,
you know?
yes, me too.
Because me too. I was a very sad teenager, and I didn't like myself, like many youth, you know, nowadays and stuff like that. So I had to build that, but TikTok brought that out. And TikTok is also bringing out the shadows of society. Yes. Because people are able to post and see things that are happening around the world, things that the news does not share. And so I think that's why they wanted to ban TikTok. But I think it's just the way that you perceive it, and you can reframe that, you know. But it's gonna take work from your part.
Totally. And I think you know, bringing up the feelings it brought up in me, I was like, wow, okay, I'm still on this journey to discover who I am. It was one of those things where I'm like, why am I doubting myself? And it wasn't like it was a comparison thing. It really was. But in my back of my mind, I'm like, why am I comparing? We're different. We're not even the same. Yeah. We're not even the same style. We're not, but it was just like, if everybody can do it, where do I fit in? You know? And it was just like, so.
Yeah. It's a perfectionism thing.
It is, girl. I'm working on that. Yeah. I'm working on that.
There's this one affirmation that I love that I was just saying today, this morning.
Okay.
It is, perfectionism is only a perception, not a reality.
Yes.
And that just says it perfectly for me. Like, it's all in your head. No, there's no such thing as perfection. We are perfection, just being ourselves, you know. The universe created perfection, the source creator, you know. But yeah, I totally get that, because I felt the same things. And no matter where you get, no matter how many followers you get, no matter how far in your journey, you're still going to have those moments.
Yes.
You know? And I started to look at it differently. I taking them as lessons. Like, oh, now what am I going to learn from this, you know? Because there's always going to be somebody maybe that will leave a comment, like some troll, you know?
Yeah. How do you handle that?
It will trigger you on purpose for your own growth, for your next evolutionary level. So if you're going to be at 100K, well, then you have to learn a different lesson now.
Right.
You know what I mean? You have to change as well. So look at it that way, I think.
I'm starting to, you know, I think it's always been really hard for me to put myself out there. I mean, even from a kid, I mean, honestly, doing this show and talking to all you guys out here, you know, has helped me.
Yeah.
Kind of just get out there and say, I don't need to be perfect at it. I don't need to be great. I don't even need to know what I'm doing. I don't even know what I'm doing, but I'm here and I want to do it and I have intention. My intention is I want to build community. I want to inspire other people that, you know, you don't have to have it all like we're talking about. You know, finding your way is by going through some dark alleys. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to go through some back roads, you know what I'm saying, to get where you got to go. And I had to learn that. I had to learn that. You know what I mean? Yeah. And so, yeah, I think it's super positive. I think it's great. So how does that go into like your songwriting process? Do you kind of sit there with like affirmations? Do you sit there with intentions? Like when you have a theme? What is your creative process?
So it depends on the project that I'm working on.
Okay.
Every project is unique and different, but I usually like for this EP that I'm currently working on.
Okay, yes, I want to talk about that. Yes.
Okay. It's a mantra EP. So I believe it's gonna be 5 songs. It might be 7. I don't know, but so between those 2 numbers, and each one is gonna be a different genre. So each track will be a different genre, but it'll be affirmations and mantra,
love it.
Right? So you're like, oh shit, I'm jamming to this, but it's affirmations. Oh shit, you know? So yeah.
And people need that.
Yeah,
people need that. They need to get crunk with some good shit. I mean, honestly.
Exactly.
You
That's
know
the type of shit that I'm trying to do.
Yeah, I love that.
So for that, I specifically was like, okay, I want to make sure I talk about abundance, make sure I talk about self-worth, make sure I talk about like unity, like different things. So I have topics, right? So I'll sit there and before I write, I usually like ground myself, like some deep breathing. I'll say a prayer. I'll say like that I'm the vessel for spirit to channel whatever message needs to be heard, and I'm gonna get out of the way and stop overthinking, you know, and that kind of stuff. So I set the intention, and then I usually, if it's not like themed already, I let the song play, the beat play, and I just vibe with it. I dance with it, and I let the song breathe and tell me what it wants to be. Yeah. Like what kind of mood it's giving, like, and then I'll start hearing melodies or certain words, and I'll just freestyle to it. Yeah. And whatever comes out, you know, later on, if I have a melody, then I'll sit there and write, okay, now I want it to be spiritual. If I didn't say something spiritual, okay, how can I twist this? How can I change it? Or it's still like down to earth, not too up here spiritual, you know, so that I can connect with many people.
Right, people can follow. Yeah.
So, and I just go from there. Yeah.
I love that. Yeah, that's kind of like me, like, girl, I've been trying to learn instruments and stuff. Because for me, it's the beat part that gets me. So for me, it's like the words will come. The words will come, the melody will come. And then to me, I think that my biggest obstacle right now with music is finding the beat or finding instruments or finding the beat to the song. Like, you know, the rhythm to the song, the actual, like, the layout of the song. So that's been my hardest thing because it will come to me quick where I'll be like, ooh, that's good. And I'll just keep it going.
Yeah.
But I don't know how to incorporate all these other sounds to it. So I've been like just playing around with different sounds and playing around with different instruments. And like, I got some ankle bells. I'm about to, stop. You know what I mean? Like, so
in,
get
in
creative.
Mexico, it's zapateada.
Is it?
Yes.
Bro,
Zapateada.
hey, I'm about to do it. I'm about to do Nicki Minaj doing it. You know what I'm saying?
I love it. Got a shout out.
All right, I'm into it.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Which instruments are you learning?
So right now I'm learning guitar.
Yeah.
I play a little bit of piano, but honestly, it's my ear. I don't play it the right way. And this is what I mean.
What do you
like,
mean?
okay, so you know the guitar, you have to like put your fingers in a certain place to get a sound. I don't necessarily do that. You know what I mean? Like I'll grab the guitar.
You just freestyle.
I think it's plugged in, but and I have a chord buddy too, which I talked about. But yeah, so I will just kind of put my hands, you know, right? Whatever, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's like it's the hardest thing for me to figure out, like, okay, is this a C? Is this a D? Is this an A?
What chord is it? Yeah.
Right. So I'm trying to remember, like, don't worry about all that. Just play it and see what feels good. Like the piano, I'm like, bing, 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 you know, I'm figuring it out. But if I was like, let me just go directly to where my hands are supposed to go,
Yeah.
I'd like lose it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think it's like, I don't know, I follow this family on Instagram. It's called Our Musical Family.
Oh.
And the mom has this little kid, Max, and he just plays what he feels. He'll walk over to his piano and he'll be like, Mom, this is the everbloom tree out in the front yard. And he'll just be like, bing, 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 and it's like amazing, you know. This mom just lets him create. She's not going over there and be like, now Max, you got to put your hands like this. You got to do it like, you got to play it like this. And I'm trying to remember that child, you know, that just didn't care. I didn't care he didn't care how his hands are and what he was doing. He just likes to make music. Exactly. So I'm trying to get back to that and not caring and just saying, hey, this is my music. You like it or you don't, like you said. Not everyone's for you, and that's okay.
Exactly. So what you're doing is learning by ear. You know, that's how people learn by ear, and then they can sing the song for you. And like if later on if somebody says, "Oh, can you do a song?" like then you'll be able to play it yourself, like similar something to it because you're playing by ear. So it's okay, you know.
Yeah.
It's just do your thing.
Exactly.
Do your thing. Like you said, perfectionism is you can't be perfect.
You can't be perfect.
And nobody is perfect, and we're not trying to be, you know. I wear my flaws like a badge, you know.
I'm like Girl Scouts over here. I'm like, you know, we're wearing our badges over here.
Everywhere, yeah.
I think we should pick our word. What do you guys think?
Yes.
Are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
Okay. So let's open a music box. I'll let you pick.
Oh my gosh. I'm excited and nervous.
I know, just
because I'm not a good rapper, you guys.
It could be anything. We can sing. We can sing it.
Okay, let's see.
Anything.
Close my eyes.
All right. What do we got?
Cirque du Soleil.
Oh my. That's like the hardest one. Okay, Cirque du Soleil. Okay, we're going to come back and we are going to be bringing some Cirque du Soleil to you guys. So stay tuned. Welcome back. So too, Son of the Underground is here today. What does Son of the Underground mean?
My dad started Digital Underground alongside Shock G.
And it was just more time to kind of sit with myself and sit with my thoughts and all right. Cirque du Soleil, welcome back. You ready?
Yeah.
All right, let's see what we got. So, all right.
I'm here with my sis. Hey, we're in the same star family. Hey, so late. And we say we love that. It's like a new day. Every time I come in the spot, I'm trying to understand the vision that you got to my heart. Baby, it's going bump, bump like I never knew. And everything we got, baby, yeah, it's going true. I got a circle so laid down deep in my heart. It's doing double as a trouble just to go from the start. I'm gonna get you everywhere you know, baby boy, cause I'm about to tell you what we doing. You got me like, la 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 la. Search is so late. Search is so late. Hey. Search is so late. Search is so late. Hey. That was good. Yes. Search is so late. Search is so long. Search is so late. Oh God! Hey, that's it. Listen here. Listen. Banger. That's a hit. Banger. That's a hit right there. That's a hit. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, that was so much
Amazing.
fun.
That was fun.
Oh my gosh, that was so much fun. Well, thank you guys for tuning in. That was our little bit. Cirque Soleil was our word that we picked today. Luna Asé, hit her up on Instagram, Spotify, TikTok, all the places.
Everywhere.
Everywhere.
Yeah.
And I'll put the info in the link below as well. See you guys next time.